Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. And with me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you gentlemen doing this evening?
Whole stack.
Hey.
That's right.
Four crew, DP.
That's right. So today we are talking about the Diamond Crown Julius Caesar Robusto. Cigar is 4 3/4 by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabacalera Arturo Fuente factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Havana seed. Binder is from the Dominican Republic. The filler is from the Caribbean and Central America. John, you can say Caribbean later. The price point is $11.75, and the cigar was released in 2010. With that said, Jiunn, what was your smoking experience like?
It was good. I got it was medium body, medium strength. In terms of flavors, I got like so much of this like milk creaminess, like milk chocolate. Like sometimes you get these like little packaged brownie bits you buy. The really shitty ones that well, my mom never made brownies, but like packaged brownies that you got at the store. I got.
I'm an American. I don't buy packaged brownies, buddy.
Okay. Well, packaged brownies that a white person's grandma will make. Not like that. But really good brownie bits.
So they had raisins in them or what?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really know. I wasn't born in America, so. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So, a lot of sweetness, a lot of creaminess. Just a little bit of a subtle red pepper spice that I liked. So it wasn't like, it wasn't really spicy. It was just enough of a spice. And that was basically throughout the whole cigar. I got a lot of those notes. Really enjoyed it. Given that it's like more of like a Robusto-ish size, it was like that profile fit really well because by the time I was done with that, I was like, okay, that was a good cigar, and I'm glad it's over with. In terms of burn construction, burn and draw, I thought it was perfect. Zero issues.
All right, Seth, how about you? What was your smoking experience like?
Yeah, first third opened up. I was getting some soft spice notes, and I was getting like some fruity qualities, and there's just this classic tobacco and musty wood with that. I found it just to be solid medium, really balanced, flavorful first third. Getting the second third, a little bit stronger. There's some more spice, some wood and leather qualities, and it's just going with that earth and fruity quality. I'd say it's still a medium overall. There's a little bit of a pickup, but it's just, once again, just a balanced second third. So far, solid construction. Getting to the final third, I start getting some meaty and cedar qualities. There's some earthiness, and the finish just has this smoking fruit quality while still remaining at a medium smoking experience. Burn was good. Good first through final third. Love the size.
What about construction for you?
Construction's pretty solid. The draw was a little bit loose, but still well-made cigar.
All right, John, how about you? What was your smoking experience like?
Yeah, I think we were talking to the green room before we started. I've forgotten how good the Diamond Crown Julius Caesar is. I smoke these occasionally, and they're pretty tasty. The first third, aged wood, faint black pepper, some earthy sweetness, some barbecue, some mild leather, mild cocoa. So kind of a little bit of everything without being overpowering in the palate, and harmonized really well, which is something I think a lot of manufacturers struggle with, is they'll throw a bunch of tobacco in there and they'll get a bunch of intense flavors, but it doesn't really harmonize together. This was really good that way. Middle third, cedar kind of took over the front of the palate. And then there's this really nice raisin sweetness, which I get with some tobaccos. There's just this really nice stewed raisin sweetness. A little bit of vegetal in the post draw, which is unusual. I don't get that a lot. Little astringent cedar post draw. And then again, light plus baking spices, cocoa. So again, still complex, but a different profile than the first third. And then the last third, I'd say, interestingly enough, more of sweet citrus and sort of with cedar. So kind of an interesting contrast there. In terms of burning construction, this was actually one of the best burns I've had in a very long time. Pretty much straight burn all the way through with a 3-inch ash. So can't really get much better than that. Draw was a little tight, but 1.5 notches, almost 2 notches towards the resistance spectrum. So I rated it as good. What was your experience like?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with wood, a little chalkiness, and some mild black pepper. About a quarter inch in, that chalkiness kind of transitioned over to a mustiness. A little further in, wood became more identifiable as kind of like a soft cedar. Retrohale had a zingy black pepper up front, while the cedar and the mustiness was in the background. As the first third was coming to a close, profile still soft cedar, musty black pepper. Strength was slightly below medium. And then getting into the second third, still soft cedar and musty black pepper combination. Cedar becomes a little bit fuller, about half-inch in. Mustiness was right behind it. Black pepper lost a little bit of the steam. Retrohale has the cedar and black pepper even. Mustiness is behind that. As the second third's wrapping up, cedar gains a bit of a toasted note to it. Strength bumps up to medium. And then final third, a little bit of char joins the cedar. And a little bit of a light vegetal note becomes present. A little further in, profile gains a little bit of meatiness to it to go with that charred cedar. Mustiness and still a light vegetal note there. Black pepper is really faint in the background. Retrohale is really just musty cedar. And then as the third's wrapping up, the char drops out from the profile. Strength stays at that medium level. In regards to construction, the burn was slightly wavy, but it didn't need any attention. Ash held on 1.25 inch increments, and I thought the draw was perfect. No issues for me at all. So Jiunn, what were your overall thoughts on this one?
I liked it. I forgot how good of a cigar it was. Probably haven't had this in like 10 years or so, but I'm glad that I revisited. And yeah, I mean, it's weird. I've always, I don't know if you guys think this, but like especially back in the day when I started smoking, I always thought like Diamond Crown was like a really fancy schmancy brand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be on the forums and people would be like, "Oh, once you stop smoking AJ, want to get into like that's your stuff." AJ like Man of War AJ from back in the day, not what you think about now, perhaps. But it's like, oh, you can move on to like Padron, Diamond Crown. So I always thought like this was like a really like high class kind of a cigar. And I realized I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was like only $11. I thought it was going to be like $20. But yeah, it was a good experience. I'm glad I reconnected with it, and yeah, definitely love to smoke more of these.
How about you, Seth?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's June. I mean, the fact that this has been on the market for 10 years, almost 10 years, I'm like, gosh, this has been out for 10 years. I remember when this thing first came out and I was like, man, $12 9 years ago, that was kind of a big deal. Now it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it's just a solid smoke. That's just enjoyable. It's easy. I think it's approachable by a lot of cigar smokers. And it focuses on flavors and enjoyment, and good stick.
How about you, John?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to kind of put this in the upper echelon of more premium cigars. I mean, it definitely carries a premium price tag, but I think, especially where cigars are today, this is kind of the middle of really what premium is, because, most cigars now are pushing the $9 price point. I bet the average now for a premium cigar is pushing the $9 price point. And again, this is one of those cigars that's very consistent. Every time I pick up a Diamond Crown, I know I'm going to have a good experience. The construction is going to be great, and the flavor is going to be tasty, and it's not going to be overpowering. So it's a great line. It's hard to find fault, really.
Yeah, and you guys said pretty much most of what I wanted to say. I mean, it's been around for a long time. It was good then. It's still good now. It's consistent over time. You know what you're going to get. Kind of talking about price. I mean, I think just for knowing that you can go to this cigar and you're not going to be shortchanged, it's that, carries a little bit of value there. I have no problem going back to it. I have no problem handing it to someone else, having them smoke it. So, I think it's kind of a winner all around there. So nothing really bad to say about that. So let's get into the scores. We had a pretty tight grouping here. We'll start at the top with Jiunn at 7.17. John was next at 7.02. I gave it a 6.72, and Seth gave it a 6.52. So Jiunn, 7.17.
Yeah, it's like I love all cigars compared to you guys. It's a good score. I thought it was consistently good flavor profile, so I rated it as such, and I thought the construction was perfect. So, anytime that happens, you're gonna get that low sevens.
How about you, John? 7.02.
Yeah, I think that reflects exactly what Jiunn said. This is a consistently good cigar all the way through. I think, a lot of times burning construction helps. I think it's expected on a cigar of this caliber. You can't spend $11 and not get great construction. And if anything, I think the draw maybe hampered it a little bit because it might have scored pretty consistently with Jiunn scoring.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.72, so it's good flavor profile, really good construction. That's pretty much a nice high watermark for me in regards to a cigar like this. So 6.52, Seth.
Yeah, it's just a good cigar throughout, beginning to end. I mean, the only areas I think where it lacked for me were just kind of pre-let experience and just the draw, but it's just good.
All right. Any other final thoughts on this cigar?
Smoking Diamond Crown today.
Smoking Julius Caesar.
Yep. All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. Also, check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels and catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Caribbean cigars.